I got a question earlier today on my Instagram, and it goes as follows, right? Do you eat more that day, or is it just one time thing, then back to fasting? Okay. So that one is pretty straightforward, right? I'm going to give you the short answer, right? And at that point, you can just leave if you want. Or you can stick around and hear me out some more as to why I'm going to give the answer that I'm going to give. Ready? Ready? One, two, and the answer is ready. Drum roll, please. I don't know why I'm doing all this extra shit right now. One time. That's it. I one time, and then I go right back to fasting. That's the short answer. So at that point, if that satisfies your curiosity, you guys can now leave at this point. But if you're more interested in, but why do you do that? Why eat once and then go back to fasting? Aren't you gonna die one of these days? Don't you want to enjoy life a little bit more? Isn't there I don't know, more to life than just fasting all the time? And it's nice to be all healthy and all, but don't you want to do stuff? What if somebody invites you somewhere? What do you do then? Are you just rejecting food all the time? Look, I'm gonna tell you my reasons, regardless of whatever does or doesn't make sense to you. Okay, and so basically, it goes as follows, right? I have found, at least for me, in my own life, the way that my body works, the way that my mind works, the way that everything about my system works, I've just found that when I eat just one meal, I'm able to get everything that I need. Or so I believe. I could be wrong. Maybe 5 years from now, it turns out that I was actually messing up my whole system and I die from some crazy disease that I self-created on my own in the form of me triggering some kind of crazy genome effect of some sort, triggering some DNA thing from some ancient couple thousand years ago, some shit like that. I don't know. But before I get too carried away in Fugazi land over here, I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case. But anyways, to get to more of the point here, more specifically, the reason I like to eat this way has to do with self-control and self-mastery. I have found, for whatever reason, that when I eat multiple meals, when I spread them out throughout the day, I can start to feel myself almost revert back to my old patterns. And not just one or two or three patterns. I can literally feel myself reverting all the progress that I've made in my own self-improvement, my own self-growth, my self-development in the last year. I can literally feel all of that shit wanting to come back. So for example, I will literally feel more tempted to just go to the bed, lay down, and fuck off and just scroll on my screen endlessly. And I can't explain to you why, but it's just this urge to repeat that habit again. I don't know why, but I just feel that urge to do that. Here's another thing that starts to happen. My sense of drive, my sense of go get it, do now, in spite of whatever fear I'm feeling, I literally start to feel that more. When I fast, I feel more inclined to do things that are more difficult, more challenging, more complex, or whatever the fuck. When I'm eating with meals spread out, 2, 3 meals for multiple days on end, I can literally feel myself grow a sense of complacency. All is good in the hood. I could just chill. I don't need to have my foot on the throttle all the time. Why have the foot on the throttle all the time? It's safe around here. Look, there's plenty of food. There's no need to be hustling all the time. There's plenty of food. It's all good, right? Again, I can't explain this down to the T, down to some lawyer level. We can take this up to the court or something and be like, yeah, sir, ma'am, this is how we know for a fact that we have proved beyond reasonable doubt that this person is guilty of this bullshit over here. I just don't know, but I sense it. I feel it. In the moment I swing back into a fasting protocol, or one day yes, one day no, or whatever the hell. Maybe I'll eat for one day, but not two, and then three, and then maybe 2 meals on one specific day, but then break it back into a longer fast. When I start doing something like that, there's something that happens to my state of mind that I'm able to just keep going and going. And not from a place of feeling like I have to keep going, but from a place of I want to keep going. I like this. There's this sense of reward. It feels rewarding. I don't know how else to say it. It feels rewarding. I'm earning something, but not because I feel like I have to earn something in order to say that I've earned something to feel worthy of it. Not so much that. It just feels naturally correct. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know how to better describe that. It just feels naturally correct. And I suspect that might have something to do with evolution here. Now, some of you don't believe in that shit. That's cool. All right, cool. I don't care. I'm gonna tell you just my experience, what I think, what I believe, whatever. Cool. So here we go. Evolution. Were there any refrigerators a long time ago? And by long time ago, we're talking hundreds of thousands of years. And I already know there's some of you going to be like, hundreds of thousands of years? What are you talking about? It's like 6,000 years old. Cool. Whatever you believe, that's cool. But hear me out. To everybody else who does, to like, subscribes to a different way of thinking, hear me out. So here we go. I'm losing my train of thought here. Hold on. So like, say a couple 100,000 years ago, were there any refrigerators? Okay, I mean, if you want to go there, maybe during an ice age, you might say that a block of ice could count as a refrigerator, but I think you know what I'm trying to get at, all right? We ain't getting all weird about it. You probably had to find food, eat food whenever you found food, okay? Now, if you found food every day, great, but what if you didn't find food for multiple days on end? What were you going to do? Just die? Let's think about that one for a second, right? Because if you had to go multiple days without food and then you eat and then do that for a long enough time, that would be the very reason that you are here, because your ancestors were just doing that because there was no other choice. So I guess my thesis here is it's not that surprising that if I treat my body as if I'm a hunter and gatherer from a long time ago, it's going to operate in a similar way and I'll be just fine. Now, somebody might say, well, hey, a long time ago, people's life expectancy, you know what I mean? You trying to die at 30 years old or some shit like that? Look, any objections along those lines, I'm here to say something tells me there's more to the shorter life expectancy from a long time ago. I think there's something a lot more to do other than just like nutrition. Like, oh, maybe things were a little bit more hectic with like random wars and people trying to take over different villages and hygiene, you know what I mean? Or like, if we factor in like, what do you call it? Birth, for example. Like, something tells me birth was a lot more riskier as far as like maybe like the woman dying during the process. You know what I mean? There's a lot of advances, in technology and civilization, hygiene, and all this stuff, germ theory, that have allowed us, we call it certain vaccines or pills and all this stuff that has allowed us to improve life expectancy. So I don't necessarily think that just, eating in a hunter-gatherer pattern, it's kind of weird to associate, hey, the hunter-gatherer eating pattern, whatever it may be, because I don't know what the fuck they were really eating, how they were really eating. I don't know. This is just my best guess. I'm just doing it and rolling with it. Something tells me to say, hey, if you eat that way like they were, you're probably going to die like they were. It's like, hold on. There's multiple variables to this shit other than just eating. That's what I'm trying to get at. So with all of that being said, do I eat more? During the day, or is it just like that one time, right? So once again, long story short, I eat that one time. I enjoy it. I have multiple reasons. I've given a few, and I'll give one last more. How about that? One last more. Focus. I have found that when I spread out, I'm sorry, not spread out. When I have that one meal versus multiple meals, all right, here we go. One last reason. I have found that whatever dopamine hit that I get, that sense of reward, it happens right then and there, right? And then it'll just dwindle down. Cool. The reason I bring that up is because when I eat multiple times a day, I feel that sense of reward multiple times a day. Great, that makes sense. Well, what's up with that? This is what I've noticed. I've noticed that if I just eat that one time and have that one hit of sense of reward, right? I'm better able to master self-control for that one high reward versus having multiple hits throughout the day. Having multiple hits, or say 2-3 meals or whatever, and each one gives me a sense of, whoa, this is amazing. I found that it makes it harder the next day that I do eat those 2-3 meals or whatever to control myself. I start to slowly, over a period of days, I start to grow the sense of, it's okay, I can just eat a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And I attribute this. I don't know. All right. I don't have some machine. I'm not officially a doctor. I'm just a guy trying shit out. All right. Even if it kills me. That's just the truth. All right. But I suspect that in me just having more of those hits, my brain starts to think, wait a minute, I want some more. I want some more. I want some more. Additionally, it doesn't help that I've been a big boy for most of my life. So I'm pretty sure I was addicted to food. So there is that too, right? So I will forever not have the ability, I believe, to eat in the same way that some other people might, where they might eat 6 meals a day and they stay lean as hell. Maybe that could be me. But then again, when I was eating that many meals, they usually were all smaller, and I didn't enjoy eating a small ass meal every 2 hours because every 2 hours I would feel hungry. You know how nice it is to go multiple hours on end and not feel hunger, and in not feeling hunger, I can think more clear, and in me thinking more clear, it opens up like this canvas that I can just start doing more shit, creativity and just getting at whatever goals I say that I want, and I actually start doing and not just wishy, wishy, wishy. It feels nice. That's rewarding. So, yeah, I like this. And I'm going to keep it this way until further notice. If I just come to a point where I start feeling more negative things than positive, you know what I mean? At that point, I might switch it up. You know, it's not the first time I've tried different things. I mean, I've done carnivore, I've done vegan, I've done just calorie restriction, Atkins, Yeah, I've tried a few things. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. That's about it for now. And I'm going to be breaking a fast tomorrow, by the way. And yeah, that's about it. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hopefully that helps. So, yeah.